Hi, everyone. This is Seema from Flawsome. Just to let you know a little bit about Flawsome. We started during the first wave of the pandemic, and it was, we saw this need that women were having for, having to juggle with work as well as with home, or even just everybody being at home all the time. And so we started working then, and now we've grown to include topics about all genders. Right now, we're working on the topic of body image. In particular, we're calling it Flawsome Every body. We're hoping that people who join us, our participants, are going to get on this journey of finding a flawsome relationship with their body. So flawsome is, we all have flaws, embracing them and still thinking we're awesome. So that's where we're looking at. So we've got it in different formats. We've got just, a little peep into it for just 90 or 120 minutes. And those are called circles. Then we've got half a day programs that are chai biscuits. And we've got this really, if you want to go really deep into it, then we've got a 15-hour program, which is a compassionate mirror. But today, I'm particularly wanting to introduce you to our collaborator and partner, Simran from Sehmat. And she is going to she and her co-facilitators are going to be working particularly with body image and sexuality. I met Simran through a workshop that she held on sexuality. And then I joined this awesome community that she has created where we meet every Friday. And she brings up a topic and we discuss this topic. It's the community is open and non-judgmental and warm, and it's for a topic like sexuality to hold the space that you hold, Simran, the way you hold it. I'm totally amazed by it. They also do work at grassroots levels with people in rural areas, women, I think in particular, about sexuality. So I'm just going to let her talk to you about her work. And yeah, so tell us, go ahead.
Thank you, Seema, for the introduction, and hello, everyone. So I am Simran, and Seema has just introduced me, and I've only recently started the organization. It's called Sehmat. The objective of the organization is to explore sexuality and build informed consent in different communities. So yes, Seema, we work in two different spaces. One is the urban community through online circles, listening, sharing circles, and workshops. And the other one is in the rural grassroots by partnering with partner NGOs. Right now, we have worked with two organizations. One is Koshika in Madhya Pradesh. And then there's this other one, which is called Saje Sapne in Himachal Pradesh. So we work with all kinds of groups, still exploring whatever opportunity comes. We just have to talk about sexuality. So wherever it is, however it is, we are up for it. And that's how I think we are collaborating. So really excited for that.
So tell us, how do you see sexuality? I mean, just give us like, a broad description of sexuality so that we have an understanding, because it's such a vast topic, really. So if we could get it more clear, that would.
Yeah. So sexuality is something that even I am still discovering. but I have been working in the field for 2 or 3 years now. How I have understood it and what I've heard from different practitioners in the field, different researchers in the field, is that sexuality is a very broad concept. It's not just the act of sex, and it is not just the sexual orientation, but it is a lot more than that. So, to give a perspective, I can share the example of how there are a lot of times when we refer to our personalities that I have such and such a personality, or my friend has such and such a personality. We understand a person by their personality. So, sexuality is another dimension of this personality, which starts getting created from the moment we are born till the moment we die. And it includes three major areas of this side of our personality. One is the biological, physical, bodily identity that we carry based on our sexual and reproductive organs. So, if we are born with a vulva, vagina, doctors assign the female sex, or if we are born with a penis, then the doctors will assign a male sex, or if there is a genitalia which is not very clear and it's ambiguous, then doctors may assign it the sex of intersex. So that is one part of sexuality, but there are other two very important parts. The second one would be the socio-cultural identity with which the world is looking at us. It's the gender. Am I a man, a woman, a transgender, a queer, agender? So many options available. So that gender identity is also part of our sexuality. And then finally, the sexual orientation. Who do we feel attracted to? Who do we incline towards? And based on our sexual orientation, we might identify as lesbians, gays, homosexuals, or asexuals. And there's so many heterosexuals. So if I start talking about the different identities, it's endless.
Yeah.
But it's a very interesting side of our personality. Like each person is different, each person's personality is different. It's unique to themselves, unique to their past history, experiences, childhood. I think each person's sexuality is also very unique to themselves, and it keeps changing over time. It's very dynamic.
So all three parts, if I look at it, have some connection with body image. So what's your experience with it? I mean, how have you seen that connection happening?
So it's very interesting actually, Seema, because when I got to know about you and your work and about Flawsome, I got to know about body image. We have been listening to it since we were children, probably in movies or in online videos. But this time when I have started working in the field of sexuality, I see that body image is all over the place. So from the moment we are born, if the doctor has assigned the sex of female to me, then I will have an image in my mind of how my genitalia looks like. This is how my vagina is going to look like. This is how long my penis should be. If it is even a bit different from the body image that is out there set as a norm, then it starts affecting how I see my sex. Do I recognize as a male or female, or do I get confused, or am I embarrassed about my genitalia? That is with the sex. But when the gender comes in, there are so many body image norms that are out there. Having long hair, is it a woman thing, man thing, transgender thing? So we have long past forgotten the hair issues, but still we are at so many other things like body piercings, makeup. These are all based on gender, and somehow it is representing our body image. Am I supposed to have boobs if I have breasts? So an example that comes to my mind is if any person who is born as a male, and if they have breasts which are plumpier or they look like boobs, then it is called man boobs, and it's very derogatory. So how the way our body is, that also affects our gender identity or how people see our gender. And then about sexual orientation, who are we getting attracted to? Are we getting attracted to people with long hair? Are we getting attracted to people with no hair? Are we getting attracted to tall people, short people? And is that defining our sexual orientation as well? So I think body image is all over our sexuality, and it deeply, deeply affects it.
Okay. So there is a huge influence that sexuality has on body image and vice versa. That you made it really clear. Okay. Say anything else that we should like sort of keep in mind a little bit more that you would like to tell us, and then we could go into perhaps talking about the workshop that we're going to be having on Sunday, and let people know what they can expect and stuff. Yeah.
So I actually wanted to talk a little more about how our sexuality is getting really affected by body image in real life, daily life examples. So citing an example of a few people who come in the Friday circles that you have talked about, the community that we have built. A lot of times we are just sharing stories from our lives, and we might be sharing stories of unrequited love, or we might be sharing stories of consent, acceptance, rejection. So a lot of topics we talk about. And every time there is this feeling that people are talking about their sexuality, which is how confident do we feel in sexual interactions. So one of the goals that we have set at Sehmat in our work is to enable people so that they are able to say yes to unusual, exciting sexual experiences, while we can also work towards how people can say no to uncomfortable sexual experiences, unsafe ones. So this yes and no, being able to say both the things, I think body image plays a huge role in deciding how much are we able to say yes and no. I'll just give you an example. So if somebody is going on a date and they are getting dressed in front of the mirror, and which color do we pick to wear, and how do we want to look like? So I what I used to do is I'd pick the color which would make me look thin, or I'd pick a color which would make me look sexy. Because I am going in a space where I am interacting with someone, where some sexual interaction might happen, some romance might happen, and I want this person to see me as an image of a sexy person. I don't want to be called cute, chubby. I want to be called sexy. I want to look pretty. But who defines what pretty is? Who defines what sexy is? So body image, I think that plays the biggest role. What are we seeing in the media? Are we seeing instances where people are shown to wear bras and lingerie, which are making them look sexy? Can't we look sexy in a spaghetti top and cargo pants? So probably these are some examples that I'd like to talk about in the workshop as well. So when we talk about the workshop, I'll just explain a bit more about how we'll do this. But I think sexuality is getting so affected by our body image. So the chance here, the opportunity here, why we are working together is so that we are able to see how body image for ourselves, my own body image, has really limited or restricted my sexual interactions, or at the same time, how has my body image liberated my sexual interactions? Do I feel shy when somebody is touching me, or am I out there being confident and being enjoying the sexual interactions? So that is something where that's a space where I think we'll be working in the workshop.
So what I'm hearing is that the way the messages that we receive, like this is how we should look, weight wise, or skin color wise, or hair I think even body hair and all of those kind
Totally.
of things. There is so many of those all play a role when it comes to sexuality. How do we want, like you were saying, how do we want to appear attractive enough to the other person that so the social conditioning is what we are trying to sort of, you're going to bring that in front, like bringing awareness to it. Is that what I've understood? Yeah.
So, yeah, the word you used about social conditioning, I'll make it a bit more specific. The sexual conditioning, how we have been feeling sexually since we were a child, and what kind of images out there have brought on this sexuality that we are living with every day. That really affects our body image, and vice versa, how our body image is constantly affecting our sexual experiences.
Can you sort of give a little bit more of an example, like something?
Oh, I remember something to share.
Okay.
So I remember once you and I, we were talking about recently about online dating. And how when we go on Tinder maybe, or OkCupid or Hinge, what is the first thing that we are looking at when we're looking for a partner? This could be a romantic partner, sexual partner, just a platonic relationship. But the first thing we look at is the person's image and the image of that person's body.
Absolutely.
So even after having read so much about body image and working in the field of sexuality, still if I go on an online dating app, the first thing I see and the first thing that attracts me is the person's body image. So I think that is a great example of how we show up ourselves. Which pictures do we use to put on our online dating profiles? And how do we want to be seen by people?
Right, yeah. Which angle do we want to look the best in, and all of that kind of stuff, right? Yeah. I hear you. I think that kind of applies in so many places as well. I mean, whether you go into the workplace, when I'm just walking down the road as well, I'm looking at, oh, this person looks good, or oh, that person looks good, or not so great, or whatever. It's just there. I mean, it's something that we do all the time, right? We sort of fit people into certain categories, right? And yeah, so that's kind of, it plays such a big role in everything that we do, really. Yeah. So.
And if we take it a step further, if we think about how when we are in a relationship or when we are interacting with someone, because we know that we are not falling into the set body image expectation, the beauty standard, because we're not fitting there, how intimidated or conscious do we feel? How conscious do we feel when we have not gotten our legs waxed before a date night, perhaps? So yeah, I think this level of how the first dating profile image can still be chosen, selected, but after that, can we choose to look a certain way all our lives? We'd probably have to get a lot of surgeries done to fix every part of ourselves.
Exactly.
But the other way could be to own it and to see the beauty in it, or see our uniqueness in it.
Yeah, that's kind of how we're hoping that people do have a flawsome relationship with their body, and from that sexuality lens, which is such a, I mean, you put it so beautifully, there is such a deep connection between the two. So it is something that really needs to be looked at. Anything else that you would like to add about the workshop?
Yes, definitely. So the workshop is going to happen on 29th August, and it will be from 12 in the afternoon till 2. So there are two other people who have helped me design it. One is Aditi Tulsian. She is a co-facilitator and a really dear friend who has helped me design the workshop. And the other is Arya. So she's also a really good friend. And the three of us, we sat together, and in the past 1 month, we have curated a lot of examples and spaces, arenas where sexual interactions and body image affect each other. So we've designed a really fun workshop, I believe, and a lot of space for people to explore how their sexuality, their sexual interactions are being affected by their own body image. So the invitation, I think, to everyone who's watching this is to take that chance, take that call, come for the 2 hours, take that time out for themselves to really see how their own image of their body is affecting their everyday sexual interactions, how they show up, with what gender identities do they show up in the world, with what sexual moves do they show up in the world, how do they define a sexy body, and what is the sexiness within them. So that's why we're doing the workshop, and we're really, really excited to see people in it, to meet new people and listen to their experiences.
Lovely. So what I'm hearing is that you're inviting people to kind of think of and identify their own sexual flawsome relationship with their body, not sort of determined by society or anything, but what is it that they want, and own that for themselves, and sort of something like that, right? That's what I'm hearing you say. Okay, sounds great. Looking forward to it. And I'm sure that this is like just scratching the surface. Because when you explained it in the beginning, sexuality is so huge. So I'm sure that there is a lot more stuff also that you can bring after scratching the surface. So for those who want to do more, you would have something more to offer them too. Yes.
Yes, definitely. So there are a lot of workshops that we do at Sehmat to dive deeper into different aspects of sexuality. With Flawsome, in our collaboration, there are a lot of things that are going to come up, which are we might engage in the 15-hour-long workshop that you talked about, and that program, and how really deeply each of our sexual selves, aspects of our sexuality, are being affected by body image, and how can we really transform ourselves from a awesome body image to a flawsome body image, where we own it up, and where we give consent to it, give sympathy to it. So I think I can see the two marrying each other like that.
Lovely. All right. Okay, then I hope we're going to have a lot of people joining us. This sounds really exciting. And yeah, this is like a 120-minute, like a 2-hour session where people are going to be engaging with their body image from the lens of sexuality. So
yeah,
good fun. Thank you. Thanks for coming for this talk, and see you soon.
Thank you, Seema, for giving the opportunity to do this, to bring in body image and sexuality together and provide a space for people so that they can understand it for themselves, explore it for themselves. I hope that at least a few of us get out of the workshop with a very different experience, and really looking forward to it. See you next Sunday, and see anyone else who's joining. See you guys next Sunday.
Coming Sunday, 29th.
Coming Sunday.
At 12 o'clock. All right.
Yeah.